In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, to whom we all have to turn with. Honorable listeners and respectable audience, you know that we have started a series of research. In research, we discussed various topics such as the introduction of research, the characteristics of research, qualitative research, quantitative research, variables in research, relationship between variables. After that, we started the first chapter of research, that how to write the background of the study in research, how to write the statement of the problem in research, how to write research objective in research, how to write a research question in research, how to write a rationale of the study in research, how to write research gap in research, how to write the significance of the research. Yesterday, I taught you that is hypothesis, how to write hypothesis in the introduction chapter of research. Listeners and audience, today I am going to teach you how to write alternative hypothesis in the introduction chapter of research. But remember, hypothesis is the part of quantitative research. Alternative hypothesis or null hypothesis. You must remember and keep this point in your mind. Listeners and audience, let me connect this topic with the previous one for the sake of better understanding. Whenever we are talking about hypothesis, as I taught you yesterday, that hypothesis refers to a statement or a logical, measurable, and testable statement which predicts the relationship between two variables. And when we say variable refers to anything, any factor in research which varies from person to person, place to place, and from situation to situation. And there are three types of variables I taught, like for example, dependent variable, independent variable, and other types of variables as well, like control variable. However, today I'm going to teach you how to write alternative hypothesis. But before going to describe its main points, first of all we must understand with examples the definition of alternative hypothesis. What is alternative hypothesis? How alternative hypothesis is written? What are its examples? So, be with me and listen to this lecture from beginning until end. Listeners and audience, alternative hypothesis, it is a statement, it is a logical, measurable, and testable statement which predicts the relationship or the difference between two variables. Listeners and audience, when I say the relationship between two variables or the difference between two variables, it means dependent variable and independent variable. Remember, whenever we are talking about alternative hypothesis, these are the qualities and characteristics of alternative hypothesis, that either it shows the relationship between two variables, or it shows the difference. How is it? For example, when we say, for example, the relationship between two variables, we must know that when we are making hypothesis, there must be two types of variables, like dependent variable and independent. So first of all, we write independent variable, then dependent variable. Like for example, how alternative hypothesis shows relationship. See in the example, if the students study more, their marks will increase. Listeners and audience, here you see at the students. As the students, this is one variable. It is independent variable. Another one is their marks. This is dependent variable. Why? Because the students, they are independent. Their study is under their control. They can increase or decrease the time. And when we say their marks depend upon their study. So as much as they study, that much their marks, their position will increase. So here you see if the students study, this is independent variable, their marks will increase or their marks, that is dependent variable. So here you see in this example, there is a relationship between two variable in this hypothesis. So when the relationship between two variables is present, so this is called positive relationship, and this is the example of alternative hypothesis. It's not necessary that there will be positive relationship. Even there could be negative relationship between two variables as well, or there could be negative relationship in a hypothesis as well. For example, if the students study less, their marks will decrease. So here you see here which type of relation is that? Negative relationship is that. Okay, when we're talking about, for example, another example, this is talking about the relationship, either positive relationship is there or a negative relationship is there, or even when we say one side increase, another side decrease, definitely there is negative relationship. When one side increase, another decrease, there is negative relationship. But when one side increase, another is also increase, there is positive relationship. See, if the students study less, their marks will also decrease. So in this example, you could see positive relationship is there. As I say, negative, positive relationship is there. Okay, students, now let's come to the second example. Female students, I have written this two times, sorry. Female students study more than male students. This is another example of a hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, but this example, you see, it shows difference. As I say, alternative hypothesis show relationship. In the two examples you see shows relationship, but in this example, female students study more than male students. This example show difference. Listeners and audience, here I'm not going to talk about discrimination. Even you can say male students study more than for example female students. This is just for the sake of example, in order to show that this hypothesis shows difference. So hope that this topic is clear to you. Thank you.